So, what is the one skill that helped you succeed in life?
What a very interesting question. I think that when I was in my 20s, my mentor, my professor, taught me how to be intellectually shameless.
Wow. Uh-huh.
It was very interesting. He said, you can think anything,
Yeah.
and you just don't know it.
Hmm.
So he started to give me impossible tasks.
Hmm.
He would give me a biochemistry book about the origins of life.
Hmm.
And he said, okay, next week, write an essay on this. And so he had one after the other, very different domains. He
Hmm.
gave me impossible tasks.
Hmm.
And by realizing that I can meaningfully engage with these tasks,
Hmm.
suddenly I felt, I have a superpower. And the superpower is shamelessness,
Yeah.
intellectual shamelessness.
Mhm.
I'm allowed to tackle any question. And so, I mean, what a great question. What is yours? One skill. Yeah, that is my one skill, I think.
Wow, that is amazing. I have never seen or heard anyone just saying, that, your one skill that, shaped or helped, to succeed in life is to have, like shamelessly intellectual to seek knowledge and, try.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a volcano of everybody's a volcano of curiosities, except most of these volcanoes are dormant.
Yeah,
They're just standing there,
yeah.
and there's actually an earthquake of revelation that your volcano of curiosity
Mhm.
can just fly anywhere, and then
Mhm.
the knowledge is
Mhm.
yours, the world is yours. Amazing. So.
And it is some things like in science, you have to have that curiosity, and also in life, people, when they have that kind of ability, they succeed
Uh-huh.
and they ask more questions, they dig, they don't take no for an answer. So how does, this skill shaped your journey to be where you are today?
Right. I mean, I'm right now, when you quote me with this wonderful invitation, thank you for that. Uh, I'm right now transitioning from being a scientist to being a CEO, a builder of a useful system rather than a knowledge system. And in both of these, there is a component of intellectual shamelessness. So in science, if you ever engage with what I do, you would realize that you can't pin me down as an economist or as an anthropologist or a network scientist or mathematician or evolutionary biologist because I'm all of these. But I'm all of these because of these accumulated the accumulated ignorances,
Hmm.
accumulated ignorances, which then went into the shamelessness machine,
Hmm.
and just engaging with another domain of knowledge, another exciting area of where we can understand something. And somehow in my mind,
Hmm.
these then form a system, and sometimes it ends up in a new theory of the society, sometimes it ends up a new company like the one I'm building now.
Hmm.
So, and in all of these,
Hmm.
the personal shamelessness
Yeah.
that I'm allowed to
Hmm.
ask any questions and try to understand the answer to any question. I think it gave me this superpower. But actually, superpower is a weird term because I think it means that you are the only one who has it. I think everybody can have it. I mean, this is a learnable, teachable, and learnable skill.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your background, what you studied, and where you came from, and where do you work?
Right. I grew up in Hungary.
Mhm.
Uh, I grew up under communism.
Mhm.
It was sort of a mild dictatorship, but a dictatorship nevertheless.
Yeah.
And then I stayed after I was 1989.
Mhm.
So I was 19 exactly where the revolution happened.
Mhm.
Uh, and the wall went down. Well, it was a very soft revolution, but and and I stayed in Hungary and I studied mathematical economics and international relations and evolutionary biology.
Mhm.
And then went to Cambridge,
Mhm.
where I studied macroeconomics and a bit of game theory.
Yeah.
And then I started a company that was looking at countries. So I built this. So for 11 years, I built this company. We covered 35 countries. So we covered 11 real time and another 24 occasionally. So I ended up doing research in 35 countries.
Mm.
So I learned a lot of the world, thought about the future of societies and future of economies. And then I thought, economics is broken,
Yeah.
and I'm in the business of economics,
Mhm.
but I do speak anthropology and I do speak biology. So
Mhm.
I'm going to go back to the drawing board. And so I started to work on, I went to University of Oxford. I gradually went up just hold on for a second.
Mm.
You're going to edit this, yes? Maybe, yeah. Sorry, my son came in get something. Um, where was I? So then I went to the University of Oxford and started to work on evolutionary models of our social behavior.
Mhm.
So went back to the drawing board,
Mhm.
and then after 18 years, now I'm building a company
Mhm.
that is creating synthetic societies. We try to understand how humans work. We create models of humans that run on computers.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow.
and yeah, and now we are covering the world. So we have a synthetic humans all over the world,
Wow.
uh, every corner, every culture. Very exciting, actually.
Mhm. Are you still involved at the university? Are you still a professor, or you left and you are now in your company?
I'm still teaching a tiny little bit.
Mhm.
I'm teaching at Oxford. I'm also teaching in Paris and sometimes in Shanghai. And so I do teach. I love teaching.
Yeah.
But being a
Mhm.
founder CEO
Yeah.
is a 28-hour a day job, plus the teaching. We're easily at 35 hours a day, and I count the hours, but there's a limit.
Yeah.
Because you have a PhD as well. What is your PhD in?
Yes. Well, my PhD, I studied tuberculosis and immunology.
Uh-huh.
So I was too ambitious. So I always loved to go into medical science, especially like, going into the lab, finding, what is the reason that this disease, and how can we cure, like, and yeah, so I did that at the University of Leicester. That's where I done most of my degrees, my undergrad, my first master, and my PhD there.
Uh-huh.
And as a scientist, you love to, tackle and find solutions. Uh,
Mhm.
you are always after something, as you are aware of. And like you saw like economy was broken. I accidentally went back to Somalia back in 2011. And
Uh-huh.
just my plan was to build a hospital with medical research institution attached to it. And then I find out that there is no academic progression and polytechnic academy. It happened just
Uh-huh.
suddenly. And at the beginning, I just wanted to help people there. We had a small local UK registered charity that we were
Mhm.
helping our community in Leicester. And then, yeah, I started doing a research. First I had a couple of Somali men coming who wanted to start a university. And I told them, no, Somalia doesn't need university. We need vocational training and academic progression so that we can train
Mhm.
professionals, because if you really want to change community, you help teachers, professors, people whose knowledge is needed so that they can, because if you are single-handed, you can't do everything on your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my advice was there. And then sadly, it took me 3 years until I figured it out. I was a one-woman show. And yeah, so I had to put my dream on hold
Hmm.
and then, pack my bags and establish the academy. Back in 2014, we registered and, went back in 2015. And ever since we have been working there. Uh,
Very cool. How often do you go back?
it depends. It depends
Hmm.
the workload. I'm more productive when I'm home in the UK. Well,
Hmm.
UK is home.
Hmm.
Because I have my family here.
Hmm.
So still, I still got my dad and my other siblings back in Somalia, but my
Hmm.
children, my family are here. So yeah,
Hmm.
so I'm more productive when I'm in the UK, but I had to travel
Hmm.
to many countries, not only
Hmm.
Somalia, but yeah, so I commute a lot. So coming back to you,
Hmm.
um, so when you started, getting the aha moment, is there any shift that you have seen in your life?
I mean, you mean this shamelessness?
Yes, shameless.
I mean, this was such a long time ago. So I'm 55 now,
Mm-hmm,
and I was, I think, 21 or 22 when this happened.
mm-hmm,
So everything is different because of this. Because I know that
mm-hmm,
I approach knowledge
mm-hmm.
differently.
Absolutely.
So when I hear, let's say, I hear a claim about climate change,
Yeah.
I'm going to go and find all the data,
Mm-hmm,
read the papers,
mm-hmm,
download the data,
mm-hmm.
and build my own mathematical models. So I would check what people are saying.
Yeah.
And the consequence of that is that because every time you create a model or create an argument,
Mm-hmm,
you are making assumptions.
mm-hmm,
So when people present something, let's say about climate change,
mm-hmm,
on either side of the debate,
mm-hmm,
they present some evidence. And so when I'm looking at the data myself and I'm building the model
mm-hmm,
in this super shameless way,
mm-hmm,
I can see that you need to make some assumptions
mm-hmm,
and in how you build the model, how what you're presenting,
mm-hmm.
and as a consequence, you see sort of the edge of knowledge,
Yeah.
edge of knowledge that say somebody else presents to you.
Yeah.
Because this is the space we are in. So I think weirdly the consequence of this intellectual shamelessness
Yeah.
is I'm more aware of the it's not the ignorance is that my knowledge is structured,
Yeah.
and that structure has a boundary. And
Mm-hmm,
although I regularly have activities in which I'm sort of expanding the boundary,
mm-hmm,
those activities are, I mean, and I can tell you, I have some tricks in those activities, to be surprised and to expand the boundaries. But the boundaries are there. The more, there's this cliched sentence, the more I learn, the more ignorant I am. But this is true because the surface of what I do not know is increasing. So yeah, I think
mm-hmm.
that is the. Shall I tell you what those extra tricks are?
Yes.
So really, yeah. One is I always have a way of jumping into unexpected situations. So one of that is with my son,
Mm-hmm,
my sons, especially with one of them. But with my sons, we would pick a place
mm-hmm,
randomly on the planet,
mm-hmm,
and we would cook
mm-hmm.
that place's food, and we would engage with that place's stories and music and songs.
Wow.
And this is, it just creates you. And actually, incidentally, that's almost exactly what my company does, because my company
Mhm.
You can do this in my company. So you can go to our interface. You can enter any part of the world. And you can have a conversation with any culture, with anyone actually. You can
Wow.
just go and have a conversation. So the other trick is the, you know what, when I'm being asked a yes or no question,
Mhm.
I will always say yes because an anthropologist always says yes.
Mhm.
So there's an invitation to the craziest sounding thing, and I stopped myself, I trained myself not to assess whether it's crazy or not.
Mhm.
I will just say yes, unless it's an obviously life-threatening situation, and I will not go in. But so that means that because the automatic yes is the only way you can be surprised
Mhm.
and you can learn a completely new thing. Because if you do not have the automatic yes, well, you're assessing whether you should engage with the existence of a piece of knowledge
Mhm.
without knowing what that knowledge is. So
Yeah.
you know what? Yes. Would you like? Yes. Shall we? Yes. Together? Yes. Now? Yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. That
So
is.
that's the technique. That's the technique. I love this technique. Actually, both of these techniques because you just jump into knowledge, you jump into culture, you jump into
Mhm.
give me humanity and give me knowledge. Yeah. Is there a piece of knowledge? Is there an area of knowledge that
Mhm.
you're aware that you
Mhm.
know nothing about?
Wow, there are so many. But if I may tell you, the one skill that opened a lot of doors was to learn Danish language. I was a
Uh
refugee
huh.
in Denmark, while my community was saying to me, "Oh no, you are wasting your time learning the Danish language because even if you get an education in Denmark, you will leave, the education in Denmark." But it didn't make sense to me, so I
Uh
never
huh.
to them. And fortunately enough, those people who were saying to me that story,
Uh huh.
telling that stories, I became their translator. So so I wondered, like, like when I look around and I
Uh
say,
huh.
because I believe skills, whether it is soft skills or hard
Uh
skills,
huh.
occasional skills,
Uh
it's very, very important. So yeah, so for me, there are so many things, that I haven't, learned, obviously. But through the work that we are doing, it allows me to be exposed, whether it is I have to check curriculums,
huh.
whether it is the university or the academy, anything
Uh
that,
huh.
we are doing, I try my best at least to know a little bit about it.
Uh huh.
The subject area. I don't have time to look everything,
Uh
but
huh.
at least, understand what we're doing. And, we offer over, 100 courses at Hano Academy. And then we have a couple of university,
Amazing.
degrees at the Hano Technical University.
Uh huh.
So more likely,
Uh
um,
huh.
so coming back to you,
But
what,
before that, may I just ask us one more question about you?
yes.
What is the skill you are working on now?
Mhm.
So do you have a skill that you just started or you're just working on now?
Or me or
Yeah.
the academy?
No, you.
Oh, that is a good question. Not really, because I am like, everything is like started but not finished.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for AI, I wanted to do a little bit more about it, and we started AI classes, but I kind of learned something, but not a lot, not enough per se. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, other soft skills, thank God, some things that, I was so lucky to do, in like early, yeah, years of life, when I was in
Uh-huh.
Denmark, I was learning the language, and then I saw opportunity, to
Mhm.
do IT. I learned, although I had, basic, computer, like before Windows, and I'm a little bit old.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say my age anyway, but I learned MS DOS before Microsoft. They
Uh-huh.
be MS-DOS program. I learned
Mhm.
that, and then Windows came, and I learned in
Mhm.
school. I learned sewing, tailoring. I learned
Cool.
I forgot what it used to call in Danish, but like it is a handcraft course where you
Uh-huh.
actually create postcards, like birthday and
Uh-huh.
weddings, those postcards, like
Uh-huh.
like a fashionable, like I took that course as well.
Mhm.
How to become a translator, I took that skills as
Mhm.
well, and that was back in Denmark. And then obviously communication skills, writing skills. Oh my God.
Mhm.
When I was doing my studies at the University of Leicester, they started an online portal where you actually put all the soft skills that you
Mhm.
can take. And then as soon as they advertise, I always try to find time and take those courses. And it was workshop.
Mhm.
It could be like 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, and it could be like once a week or something like
Mhm.
that. So I had this kind of mindset where I try to take advantage anything that comes to my way. And I also remember when I first came to to the UK, I used to do
Mhm.
voluntary work, and they used to
Mhm.
give us through the charity I was working with,
Mhm.
or the organization I was working with, they gave us a lot of opportunity. So like counseling. I didn't finish until, and we
Mhm.
cannot call ourselves because my course is only 6 months. So I cannot call myself a counselor, but like listening
Mhm.
service, I can provide like listening service.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, so I'm like you, I'm open, I'm open-minded, and I like to
Very, very
say
cool.
yes. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So, like, what is the one skill that you would like to teach? If you have a bunch of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can teach how to think,
Mm.
how to be curious. I mean, difficult to teach curiosity, but you can teach
Techniques,
the idea, you can
techniques.
teach the technique of yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe I really like teaching people how to think in a system.
Mm.
So, we have all of these little observations
Yeah.
about the world, and then you can put those observations into a system.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed with
Mm-hmm.
a mind that I'm not aware of how I learned it. I'm sure I learned it. This must be a learned skill.
Mm-hmm.
That my mind creates systems, and so I learned being a professor, a teacher, of how to teach that skill to
Mm-hmm.
others,
Mm.
and which is very much the Oxford method of asking questions. Yeah, so rather than giving an answer, you are asking a question, and then via a series of questions, you gradually, the mind of your student
Mm-hmm.
gets to a solution, and by the time they get there, they have constructed that world. They have created it, it exists in them,
Mm-hmm.
and hence exists. If you just tell a system to somebody, it's not inside. It's an outside system. But if you think it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes your own system. I think that is the skill that I like teaching most,
Wow.
because it's just people are different.
Yes.
All you do, you add intellectual shamelessness,
Mm-hmm.
this skill of creating a system, and a little bit of a pinch of hard work,
Mm-hmm.
and then poof, there is this amazing thinking human.
Mm-hmm. And especially in what like a lot of young people are not pushing enough,
Yeah,
nowadays, because they have everything. They have the technology, they have,
yeah,
a lot of, like, I'm not saying all the youth have everything, but the Western young people, when you look other parts of the world, they don't have much as well. And
mm,
through this broadcast, what we are hoping is basically
mhm,
to listen your broadcast, your talks, the talk series that we have, and hopefully they will, learn one or two things that will inspire them in their life. And we will also offer opportunities, on our other platforms. We have online platform. People
Mm,
can teach whatever they want, maybe a few hours, and
mm,
that person can say, yes, I at least learned the techniques. Because in
mm,
life, as you mentioned, it is a system, and if you get
mm,
that system right, it's
mm,
gonna work definitely.
mm,
And a lot of people need that kind of encouragement. Like when they hear stories, they
mm,
struggle. Like, yes, you are European, but a lot of people are not aware of, like, the background of your home country.
mm,
Coming to the UK now, look where you are. It is mind blowing. You could easily give up and just choose to go to, working in a, somewhere else. But you challenge yourself, you
mm,
pushed yourself, and you had that hunger to seek more
mm,
knowledge, and that's a wonderful
mm.
skill to have. So what sort of, like, advice would you give to our listeners?
I mean, it has to be in line with what I said. Yes, be shameless, be intellectually shameless. Just do not accept any statement from others. Go and not even have critical thinking, have critical methods. Go and check it. Not only think critically, this is maybe wrong, go and check it. And, right now you have all of these tools. You can go to any of these LLMs, these AI engines, ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, and all you need to say, how can I use you? And the second you're in, and you could say, I am thinking about the following question.
Mhm.
And then bang, you've got access to knowledge. You can go to Wikipedia
Mhm.
and read up, every second.
Yeah.
The Wikipedia is the better quality than the previous second. And every second, Wikipedia is a larger accumulated knowledge of humanity that ever existed before that. It's a continuously growing, ever larger, and freely built and freely available.
Mhm.
Google Scholar will get access to everybody to
Mhm.
to academic writing, which right now is increasingly free and freely accessible. So knowledge is at our fingertip. The only question is, are we going to let that curiosity volcano
Mhm. Yeah.
break out and have an eruption of curiosity? And I think this is what any one person can do today: erupt their own personal curiosity volcano, and the knowledge is there, and all we just need to do is just go and drink in all the knowledge. So I think that is my. I don't know if I can
No,
give an
that's.
advice, but that's what I think. Maybe one thing a person can do.
Mhm. No, that's fantastic. That's, in Somalia, obviously, we had over almost 3 decades of civil war,
Yeah.
or, so was not proper public or community library. So
Uh-huh.
we built that so people
Mhm.
can come, and every year we take books from
Lovely,
the UK to
lovely.
Somalia. Yeah, it's not massively, it's not that big, but
Mhm.
that space, people come and read
Mhm.
books, all the way from
Wonderful.
the UK to Somalia.
Mhm.
So obviously, what you just said suits well what we stand for and what we are trying to do in Africa. And that's something that we can encourage others, be fearless, be shameless, when it comes to seeking knowledge, and and everything, it needs that little step, and everything can be that volcano, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I fully agree. I never visited Somalia. I'm so curious. Is there the civil war is still on? Yes,
No, 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 no. Now, yeah, we
it's
have.
safe.
It is safe.
Maybe I should go. I should go and offer you a course,
Oh,
and I,
please.
I would get to see this country because I read a lot about Somalia.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Yeah, we will love to welcome you. Absolutely. However, you can teach. We have an online platform called
Hmm.
Learning X.
Mm.
And we have like a guideline. We will share it with you. You can start with that, meet our student online. And we
Hmm.
host, international conference in Somalia, in Mogadishu, which is called Somali STEM Summit. This is our ninth year. So I will send
Cool.
you informations and people who participated. Yes, that the last 9 years, and they came from many countries.
Cool.
Yeah,
Congratulations for this wonderful initiative.
absolutely.
And, and thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you
let's
so
keep
much.
in touch.
Yes, absolutely. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
You too. Bye
Yeah.
bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.